So if we look at these two examples that coexisted 12th century into the early 14th century, we have here two great examples of the representation between a type 13A and a type 12A blade by oakshot typology. Which here on the right we have the two-handed longsword, or precursor of a longsword actually, by darksword Amory, the representation inspired by original at the museum in Zurich, which is perfectly centered with the Templar knight crosses. It reads Militaris Templi, Knights Templar Military. It has a nice cruciform style guard and an octagon shaped paint pommel, and next to it we have the inspired by a original out of the museum great sword of war of the Teutonic knight, which this one here represents a type 13A blade by oakshot typology with the cruciform guard and the octagon shaped pommel with the black cross in the center, symbolizing the Teutonic knight order, which did coexist and it's still existing today alongside Knights Templar during the Crusades. And they both are 4.5 pounds in weight. This one here is like a hand and a half, but actually a single-handed. You can fit the other hand onto it if you need to. This one is made by Legacy Arms, forged in the Philippines. And this representation here, this is one of Darksword Amory's earlier models, but if you pay attention to the tip of each blade, you will notice that the type 13A is a more rounded tip, where the type 12A has a more pointier tip, which makes it much better to thrust to the mail armor at the time. They both will do thrusting, but the type 13A is a more of a slasher, a heavy slasher, while the type 12A is a good thrusting blade as well as a good slashing blade. And the guard, designed with its points, you can use it also as a weapon at close corner with a guard pommel strike and even some sort of a punch like move. since this has been one of their earlier models, it flexes a little bit too much, in my opinion. And with the center point of percussion, I mean, you can see how it all one thing's for sure, this blade would probably not break as easy. It's easy to wield in one hand. But with each move, you feel the vibration well into the grip. So other than that, it's a well constructed blade, except for the fact that this blade must have still the 1065 or 1060 5060 or something like that of the steels they used at the earlier times. So everything else besides the fact about how the blade is behaving, it's an amazing piece. And worthy of a Knight Templar or any crusader within that order. Now here to the Teutonic Knight, it feels much heavier. You can feel its slashing power. This will slash, especially off of a horseback, would cut an enemy into health. Charging off of horseback, cutting the body right in half, or at least taking the head off. Well, it's more of a, feels almost like a cleaver. Other than that, now in comparison, clearly not barely any movement on the blade. So and it's also well built. So I can recommend this type of crusader sword of the Teutonic Knight order to anybody who wishes to add that to their collection, and to any true Teutonic Knight within the existing order today. It's an excellent hand-forged piece. And the edge is the factory edge, which still did hold up quite well after using it even against hardwood pell. So no complaints so far whatsoever. Stay tuned for more reviews to come. Next review up will be about the Type 14 blade arming sword by Darksword Amory.